welcome into Texans Today, everybody. I am your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and on the program today, I thought it'd be a fun idea to regrade the Houston Texans 2024 draft class. We've talked a lot about the rookies coming in this year, but I want to take a look at last year's draft class, what Nick Caserio, DeMeco Ryans did, and maybe just revisit it. I also thought it'd be a fun idea because I graded all these guys right after the 2024 NFL draft, so maybe a little egg on my face to see how good or how bad I did in grading our draft class in my instant reaction. So I'll tell you what I had all these guys graded right after the 2024 NFL draft. But I need y'all's help, and I need it right now. Settle the debate, because we had a lot of people in the Chat Sports offices talking about Arby's being a top 5 fast food restaurant out there, and one of his reasons was they have the best french fries in the game. Do y'all think that's true? Do you think that's false? What is your narrative? I was talking to producer Alper before we started filming. He said Chick-fil-A is 1-1 and it's not close. I could see that as well. I really do like a curly fry. Maybe a hot take. I think Jack in the Box might have better curly fries than Arby's. Also, McDonald's fries are the 1-1 if anybody tells you differently. You don't know ball. That's just my opinion, though. Settle the debate. Go down in the comment section. Best fast food french fry, or maybe are we talking fast casual as well? Because I know a lot of people, maybe Shake Shack, maybe one of those places. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments section. Settle the debate. And if you forgot what our draft class looked like last year, this is what it was. There was no first-round pick because they traded back with the Minnesota Vikings and then ended up trading one of those second-round picks for Stephon Diggs. So they had 2 second-round picks. They had a third-round pick, 4th, 2 6 and 3 7s, and these are the guys they took at each of those spots. So let's get right into it. The first guy that the Texans selected in last year's NFL draft was Kamari Lassiter in round 2 out of Georgia. My original grade was a B, and a lot of people gave me slack for it, Alper. A lot of people were like, he runs a 4.6, Jeremy. Do you not watch ball? Do you not know what you're talking about? He's going to suck. And I was wrong. And you were even more wrong if you said that I was wrong for this B grade, because my regrade for him, it's an A+. And I know a lot of people like to talk about the Eagles rookies, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. They're fantastic. Kamari Lassiter might be better than both of those guys. Look at his numbers from this past season, his rookie year. Great tackler from the cornerback spot, 58 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions. He also added another interception in the playoffs, 10 pass breakups, and a completion percentage when targeted of 43.8%. He was on one last year. Kamari Lassiter was a fantastic pick by this regime. One of the best picks from last year's draft, in my opinion. He was an absolute steal in round 2. Let's go to the next pick the Texans had in the second round, Blake Fisher. My original grade for Fisher was a B-, and I'm actually going to stand pat on that. I'm still going to give him a B-. He started 9 games last year, 4 sacks allowed on the season. And listen, coming into this offseason, I really hope, at least moving forward, we can have a, solid offensive line with guys, stalwarts like a Blake Fisher on the right side and an Ariante Ursery on the left side. Is that going to happen? I'm not sure. Last year, very roller coaster year for Blake Fisher. So I think the B- is a fair grade for right now. Obviously, that grade can rise, especially if he's your starting right tackle this year and he plays well, protecting CJ Stroud. But for this moment, I think I was kind of dead on this, a B- grade for Blake Fisher as of right now. This is the one where I'm going to do a little victory lap. I'm going to do a little gloating because this was my best pick from the Texans in last year's draft. I called it. I said it. I said Calen Bullock. I give it an A grade. I almost gave it an A+. Well, in my new draft grades, I do give it an A+ because Calen Bullock alongside Kamari Lassiter might be one of the best young duos in the secondary. I think I'd rather have those two guys than Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, in my opinion. Obviously, Texans fans, so might have my Houston glasses on for that one. But look at his stats from last year. 54 tackles. 5 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, and a completion percentage when targeted of 42.9%. He was amazing on the back end. He was a great defender, and he was the center fielder this team needed. He was able to read the quarterback's eyes, and wherever he was going, he was able to dissect that and go and at least break up the ball, if not almost get an amazing pick where he had a ton of great opportunities. Honestly, I think he dropped 2 or 3 picks, so that number could be 7 or 8 if his hands were maybe a little bit better. I'm not saying he has bad hands, but he did drop a couple of interception opportunities as well. Calen Bullock was amazing for the Texans this past year. Maybe a tough question for you. I want to know, who was the best pick the Texans made from last year's draft class? I feel like I'm going to get a lot of 2 guys. I think I'm going to get a lot of Kamari Lassiter, a lot of Calen Bullock, but you can only give me one. You can only name one. Who was the best pick that the Texans made last year? Let me know down in the comment section. This is the first one where it's a little bit lower than my original grade. Cade Stover. I gave him a grade of a B after the Texans selected him out of Ohio State, a former teammate of C.J. Stroud for the Buckeyes. Listen, it's not that he had a bad year, but it's just the production wasn't there, right? 15 receptions, 133 yards, 1 touchdown. Was very underwhelming in my opinion, especially after the injury to Brevin Jordan. I was like, Cade Stover's going to step up. He might be one of the best tight ends from this draft class. Hasn't been that just yet, right? Like he hasn't been bad. I'm not saying Cade Stover had a disappointing year, a bad year. Just really wasn't used. We didn't see a ton of Cade Stover or as much as I would have liked. That's why I'm only going to give him a C+ in my regrade. A lot of room to grow, especially under new offensive coordinator Nick Caley, but I can't give him that B grade, really, right? Like he didn't have that production. So for right now, a C+ grade for Cade Stover. Next up, Jamal Hill, linebacker. My original grade was a C+. I said he'd be a special teamer, and what do you know? He was a special teamer, right? He got on the field only for special teams purposes. Now, there is some value to that. You know, there is value. There's 3 phases of the football: offense, defense, and special teams. So he added something in that regard. My new grade for Hill, C. Maybe I'm a little rough on him, but I mean, even in special teams, from the top of my brain, I can't remember any time where he made an amazing play where I was like, wow, Jamal Hill in special teams. So, I mean, decent, C is an average grade, right? So Jamal Hill around that area. I still think they drafted him a little high. I think, round 4, a little bit too early for Jamal Hill. Whoa, where did I go? We're all good. We're all good. Next up, I'm going to go with Jawhar Jordan, running back from Louisville. This was one of their first picks in the 6th round, and he spent all of last year in the practice squad. My original grade, way off. I thought he was going to be the lightning to Joe Mixon's thunder, and he was not quite that. I still have my hopes out for Woody Marks this year, but being on the practice squad, I couldn't give him anything more than a C-. Not bad, right? Like a 6th-round pick, you're not expecting to be a instant, starter, an instant impact guy. At least he's still on the practice squad, somebody who could be beneficial down the road. So I still give him a C-, but definitely not anywhere near the A grade that I was going to give him right after the 2024 NFL draft. Let's go to the next guy, Solomon Byrd. My original grade was a C+. Same grade, actually, C+. Played towards the end of last season, had 2 tackles. Another guy, late round pick, so you're not going to be too heartbroken if he doesn't make a huge impact. But, it was okay. C+ grade. I think as I go on throughout the later round picks, you'll kind of notice, not that they whiffed, but I don't think the Texans maximized their late round picks, at least last year, as good as I think they should have. I have a couple more guys that I'm going to give my new grades for, but you don't want a D grade. You don't want an F grade from your father. You don't want to have them disappointed in you because you forgot Father's Day. Everybody remembers Mother's Day, but Father's Day is kind of the forgotten holiday. Only a couple weeks away. I bet half y'all probably didn't even know that. So right now, go to chatsports.com/TexansDad and get it out of the way. Get that gift right now, a ton of cool gifts for your dad. You don't want to be the guy right before Father's Day where you go and get your dad a card and a Home Depot gift card and a candy bar. He doesn't want that. He wants some cool Texans gear. He wants a jersey. He wants something for his garage, maybe this for his desk, like a little thing to put a photo in. All this stuff. available right now. All you got to do is go to this link right here. That's going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. It's chatsports.com/TexansDad. A ton of cool stuff, some stuff on sale too, so get it while you can. And make sure you get it in time for Father's Day. You don't want to get it to them late either. Get it right now, and it'll be there by Father's Day. If you wait, might not have a good gift for your dad, and you'll be in the doghouse. Maybe you have a bad grade like this next guy, Marcus Harris. And original grade, I give it a B+. I thought he was going to be a sleeper that the Texans drafted in round 7. Did not quite be that. It wasn't quite that, right? And the reason why he's an F grade, not because Marcus Harris is a bad player. Not even on the Texans anymore. He's on the Patriots practice squad. So I can't give a guy who's not even contributing to the Texans any sort of good grade. It's an F. The Texans got nothing out of him. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul, because the Texans, they got nothing out of this pick. Now, 7th round pick, so I'm not freaking out too much. It's not too big of a deal at the end of the day. But like I said, B+, got to give him an F because he's not on the Texans anymore. And the last pick the Texans made in the 2024 NFL Draft was LaDarius Henderson. And I gave him a B grade. I had a lot of high hopes for Henderson. I thought he was another kind of late round steal that the Texans were able to get from that really good Michigan offensive line. It's been all 2024 on the IR. So maybe I'm cheating on this one, but my grade for Henderson, it's incomplete. I can't really base it off of anything. He was on IR. He's back at, OTAs, and he's going to be at training camp this year. But in terms of, giving him a grade, I have nothing to grade it off because he was hurt all year. So incomplete for LaDarius Henderson. But I think he kind of fits into this next question I'm going to ask you. Who takes the biggest year 2 jump? Who do you think is much better their second year than they were their first year? Do you go off and say Kamari Lassiter or Calen Bullock? That might be tough because both those guys were fantastic their rookie seasons. Is it somebody like Blake Fisher who needs to step up and be the solidified starting right tackle for this team? Is it somebody like LaDarius Henderson who was out all last year and might contribute at one of the guard spots for the Texans this season? Let me know down in the comment section which one of these rookies for the Houston Texans do you think takes the biggest year 2 jump. In my opinion, I think it'll be Cade Stover. I think Stover, with new offensive coordinator Nick Caley, will get into a good rhythm. They're going to focus more on the tight ends, and he'll be more of a focal point in this offense. Dalton Schultz, he's the tight end 1 right now, but basically on a 1-year deal, right? At the end of this season, Dalton Schultz, the Texans can save over $11 million by cutting or trading him. So I think they'll probably do that, especially if a guy like Cade Stover shows out this season. That's all I have for you on today's show, folks. If you want to continue the conversation, you can hit me up on social media. On X, I'm at Jeremy Chuggs. On IG, at Texans Today CS. And on TikTok, I'm also at Jeremy Chuggs. You can follow me on all 3 platforms. My DMs are always open.